Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Aman Codes. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about default arguments. In previous episode, we have completed positional arguments. So let's continue with the default arguments. When there is a common value for family of similar function calls. For family of similar function calls, they have a common value. For example, you take course. So student contains different rule numbers, different names, but the course is going to be same. Then such type of common values must be taken by default parameter with common value, but not recommended to pass by using positional arguments or parameters. See, for a 5 students, the course is going to be same, right? So for the 5 students, if we wrote 5 Pythons, so then it is going to take more time. That is the reason we have to declare default argument. Default argument in the sense course is going to be common value. We are going to declare that course in function definition and we are not going to mentioning in that function call. See here syntax for function definition with default parameters. See here I declared a function name, parameter 1, 2 up to n minus 1. So I want for n minus 1, I want to declare a value. So it is going to be a default param. So next I'm going to declare like this, param n is equals to value 2. So I want to declare second default value. So these are my two default values, in a sense common values. So I am going to declare this in function definition, function heading part. So these are the function body. So this is the syntax for defining default parameters. Here, parameter n minus 1 and parameter n are called default parameters because we are mentioning with the common values. So because we are mentioned here values, so that is the reason n minus 1 and n are going to be default parameters. So here parameter 1, 2 up to so on, they are called as formal positional parameters. So see here, we didn't mention any type of default, right? In the sense we didn't mention any type of values to these parameters, then it is going to be considered as formal positional parameters only. So one rule you have to remember. So what rule? In the sense when you are declaring default parameters, you can't declare it first, you can't declare it middle. So compulsory you have to declare the default parameters yet last in parameters list. Okay, see here when when we use default parameters in function definition, they must be used at last. Otherwise, we get an error, syntax error we are going to face. So this is a theory about default arguments. Let's see the practical example on these default arguments. So here I'm going to new others, here Python, okay. And here I'm going to mention my file name. So my file name is going to be the default args example.py is going to be my new file name. Here what I do in the sense I'm going to take my previous example information. This is my last class example, right? Positional argument example. So for the better understand, I'm going to carry this example. Now I'm going to place here. So here this is going to be a main program. So here I'm going to take some other students. See here. So this is my file name default arguments example.py. I'm going to save in this folder. Try to understand this program. Here I declared a function see def display student data of student number, student name, student marks. But here I am going to mention one common value for all the students. So these are the family of similar function calls. See here, these are the family of similar function calls in the sense same function calls. So see here, I am going to declare course is equals to what I am going to declare. So here all members are studying the course called Python. So all are studying the course called Python. So here I am going to print that CR. Here in the place of heading, I am going to take that CR. I am going to take this course. See here, I have given 4 parameters, which are student number, student name, student marks, and this is going to be a common value for all. Here I mentioned 3 arguments only in function call. that is going to be student number, student name, and marks, right? So I didn't pass the value called CR. So it is going to defaultly allocated for each and every function call. CR is going to be Python and it is going to print here. So now I'm going to execute this program. So see here, better to understand, I'm going to execute this program in CMD. Yes, we declared here CR, but we didn't declare the placeholder, right? See here, for this we have to declare this one, right? So again, I'm going to do this thing. So here also, I'm going to mention one tab spaces in order to get the output correct. I executed my program. See here, we got heading as student number, student name, marks and course. See here, for student number 10, name is Guido, marks is 89.0. So he has enrolled in Python. So here I declared only three arguments. So for this all data, this Python is going to be a common value. That is the reason I declared here default argument as Python. So directly after function call, it is going to the function definition. Here it is going to take place in each values. So for example, so 10 is a student number, name is going to be Rosam, marks is going to be 29. After that, it is directly allocating CR is equals to Python. So and it is going to inside, it is going to print that CR value. If we won't use these default parameters, what is going to be happen? So for each and every student, we have to declare here Python. So for each and every student, like this Python. So here also Python, Python, Python. So memory space is going to be waste, right? And execution is also going to be waste. So in order to overcome these two problems, we are going to use this default parameters. So if we are trying to declare this as starting, then we are going to get an error. See here, I'm going to execute this program again. See what we got an error without a default follows parameter with default. So what it is going to tell in the sense, first of all, you need to declare this type of parameters in list of parameters. In the sense, declare this default parameter yet last only, not first. So then we have to remove this parameter from here. We are going to declare that parameter in middle. See, then I'm going to execute this program. Same error we are going to get. So it should be last, not in the middle, not in the first. So here also I'm going to take this. Now I'm going to execute the program. Then we got an output. So if we are directly mentioned the course called Java for this particular student, then what is going to be happen? So this Guido student is going to learn Java, but remaining students all is going to learn Python. Then I'm going to execute the program. Let's see the environment of the program. So I have executed. See, whatever the particular argument we have passed, that particular argument is going to be Java. Whatever we passed the argument, that is going to be Java for the Guido. Remaining all are Python, right? So see, for this particular student, he is going to study Java. So here, Java is going to store in CR. So CR is going to print like this. So if we want any different values, then we can declare like this directly here, right? For suppose he is going to study C#.NET. So for suppose Rosam is going to study C#.NET. So here I declared common value of Python. When there is no argument comes as a CR, then you going to choose Python. So if an argument comes from function call to the function definition parameter CR, then it is going to update it to that value. No Python is going to print. Whatever value is going to come, that value is going to get an output. See here, I'm going to execute this program. See, I'm going to execute. For Guido, I have mentioned Java. For Rosam, I have mentioned C#.NET. So remaining all are Python, right? So this is one important thing in default arguments. So default parameters must and should defined at last in the list of parameters. If we declare that in middle, if we declare that in starting, then we are going to get an syntax error. And the second most important point is if we don't mention any argument in function call, so defaultly it is going to take that value. If we mention any value, then it is going to update whatever the value we have mentioned to that value. C are going to update and that is going to print here, right? So these are the two important points in default arguments. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you all understand. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Aman Codes. Thank you so much for watching.